Good evening and welcome to TNSRADIO.com. The time is now 21:04, 22nd of the 12th, 2010. And sorry guys, I've been out of action for the last few days. I have to be honest, I wasn't feeling great. And I had a lot on my mind and I had things I needed to sort out. Private, personal things, I'm sure you understand. Skype is not up and running tonight, as I'm sure most of you know. Somebody with older versions apparently can still get through. Anybody with the modern, up-to-date version apparently can't even sign in. So I think that's the way it's going to be for tonight, folks. You never know. If it works, well and good. If not, sure, what the heck. Anyway, there's a couple of things I wanted to get to. Hopefully you'll be able to hear this. If you let me know in the chat box if you can hear this, please. I'm going to have to play this from the microphone because for some reason this laptop is acting up as well. But I'm sure you'll be able to hear this. I would like you to listen to this very carefully.
Warmest Christmas and New Year greetings to each member of Ireland's family and to all our friends around the world. At this time of year, our exiles return and families gather. I send warmest Christmas and New Year greetings to each member of Ireland's family and to all our friends around the world. At this time of year, our exiles return and families gather, glad to see one another again. Conversation will doubtless turn to Ireland's economic problems that are dominating the headlines everywhere, and which have brought hardship and heartache into many a home. Our people face a painful economic recovery and understandably ask questions about what led to our current difficulties. They wonder how long it will take to get through this crisis and what must be done to prevent it from recurring. Mustering the self-belief and determination that will reinvigorate our country psychologically and economically is now an imperative. Ireland and her people are worth much, much more than to be defined by this economic crisis. Our history has given us resilience in the face of adversity, and maybe it's time to remind ourselves that we do indeed have many strengths to help us on the journey ahead. Ireland enjoys a dynamic community life, sustained by a modern mehel of good neighbourliness, solidarity and volunteer generosity. We're a people rich in imagination, creativity, innovation and problem-solving skills. We have a strong business sector, including world-class companies which chose to locate in Ireland, and indigenous enterprises that are doing very well in export markets. We have the gift of peace that has already transformed life on our shared island and which has huge untapped potential. We have an extraordinarily loyal global Irish family whose goodwill and experience is an extensive and enduring resource. We have men and women of great ability across the arts, humanities, sciences, technologies, sports and development aid sectors whose genius enhances Irish life and Ireland's international reputation. Above all, we have a talented and ambitious cohort of young people who deserve the gifts of confidence in their future and pride in their country. That confidence and pride will be generated by what we choose to do today and tomorrow to make Ireland the successful, forward-looking, egalitarian country it has the desire and the capacity to be. I wish each and every one of you a peaceful and happy Christmas and a new year of renewed hope and faith in Ireland's future.
Okay, hopefully you can all hear me in the chat box there and let me know. So if you can hear me okay, apparently I was talking away to myself there. I thought I'd pressed the microphone button and I hadn't. Okay, so that's completely after throwing me sideways. And I was looking at the text in the chat box and I didn't see anything about, nobody seemed to be telling me that they couldn't hear me or anything. So I just kept talking and talking and talking, as I do. Anyway, I'm assuming I've been recording it, so maybe it'll go on the podcast, maybe it won't. Anyway, basically what I was saying to you folks is this idea that somehow we are going to wake up one day and it'll be the whole brave new world That's not going to happen. It won't happen that way. It will be slow and easy over time. I think most of us realise that. But that's not to say it has to be that way. We can either slowly over time wake up as many people as possible to the absolute scam and deception that's going on all around us. I mean, I used to have mixed thoughts about this at some stage. Oh, is it a scam and a deception? You know, if you just engage your intellect, you do actually eventually see it quite clearly what they're up to. Once you engage intellect and reason. Look up a couple of definitions according to them and find out what the words mean according to them. And then think to yourself, well, hang on a minute, that's not what that word means as far as I'm aware. So, yeah, a couple of people saying start again, Vin. Yeah, no thanks. I've been talking away for ages. So, you know, it is a deception. It's done on purpose. It's not for our benefit. The birth certificate is not for your benefit. All of this commercial redemption stuff is nonsense. I'm sorry, guys. I know a lot of you are interested in it. I'm giving my opinion here, and I am giving, this is my opinion. And I'm going to tell you why I think it's nonsense. They use it as a tool of distraction. That's all. They tempted your greedy side. They tempted you with this notion that some of these gurus put out there, that you can sign your signature to something and all your all your financial problems will go away. But to do so, you must declare yourself to be the person. And I'm sure they thought, well, if enough people do that, well, wonderful. That's what I'd think if I was them. Wonderful. Well, give the odd guy a remedy. And then go collect the rest and put them in prison. And then pick another guy at random who seems to be getting close. And give him a remedy. Or her a remedy. Let them think that they are somehow the magical secured party creditor. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's rubbish. There's just you and I and everybody else standing on the big muckball going through space. Okay? That's all there is. There's no such thing as countries. There's no such thing as spoons, as cups, as knives, as houses, as cars, as vehicles. These are all fictitious, constructed names. Brand names. And they went and gave you a brand name too. You, more than likely, just call it your name. I'm not talking to the guys here who know what I'm talking about, to other people in other countries who may be listening in. Maybe for the first time, let this be a Christmas present for you. What you call your name, it's not your name. It's a brand name. They have branded you. But they didn't brand your flesh like they used to with the slaves years and years ago. They used to literally get a brand, folks, like a branding iron, red hot in a fire, and press it into the hand of the slave. Or onto his back flesh somewhere. Brand them like cattle. No, they came up with a more sophisticated version. They burnt their brand into your intellect, into your very essence. That's what they attempted to do. They attempted to burn it into your mind indelibly. And they started when you were about 4 or 5 years of age. Wasn't that nice? That's how evil these people are. They know when they use the name. They know what it means. But you see, they say, oh, but we gave you a way out. You have volunteered. That doesn't wash anymore, folks. That doesn't wash. If you program a child to think that words on a piece of paper, some ink spilled, a design, a scribble, a hieroglyph, what do you call it, a hieroglyph, anything, is them, and you may as well point at a tree, or what we call a tree, and go, that's you, that's your tree. Whoops, your tree is growing in the wrong spot. This area has been designated such and such. You're now going to be fined for having your tree there because that's your tree, right? You are that tree, right? And you say, oh yes, I'm that tree. You might think I'm being facetious talking about trees here, but what the hell do you think the paper's made from? They point at a piece of paper, a bit of a tree, and they say to you, is that you? And like an idiot, what do you say? Literally like idiots. They've turned us into gibbering idiots. We point at the bit of dead tree and say, oh yes, that's me. How could it be me? How could it be you? It's a bit of dead tree. The commercial redemption rabbit hole, folks, is simply that, a rabbit hole. To somehow conjure up this idea in your mind that you can somehow beat the system, you must be bloody joking me. They have that system so well constructed. They've been probably thousands of years making this system, honing it, making it better and better and better. And all commercial redemptionists are doing, the guys who get involved in that, they're making their system better and better. They're exposing all the holes in their system. So they let one guy get a remedy, thank you very much, and they shut that door firmly. Another guy finds a remedy somewhere else, well, they block that one up too. They love it when you find a loophole in the law, folks. They love it, what they call law. They think that's wonderful. They won't act like that. But secretly, deep down, they think, oh, wonderful. Every time we go into court, their game, as Harry says, it's played on a court. It's a racket. Yeah, it's a racket, all right. Every time we go in there, we improve the game. But not for us. We improve it for them. For the owners of the game. The slave masters. And they are slave masters. But they're slave masters with voluntary slaves. At least that's what they like to tell themselves. That's what they like to think, you see. But we're not voluntary slaves. There's nothing voluntary about it if you fear not doing something. That doesn't meet what I call voluntary. I mean, if I come to a guy and I say, stick your hand in that fire or I'm going to beat you to a pulp.